Hey, what's up, everybody? If you're enjoying the video, please hit that subscribe button and give a thumbs up. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. It really helps support the channel and allows me to keep creating content for you guys.
Rain always reminds me of that day. The day we got the keys. The scent of fresh paint, the echoing emptiness waiting to be filled with our life. Our house. Min-jun and I finally truly ours. It was more than just bricks and mortar. It was the promise of a future, a haven we'd build together brick by brick, memory by memory. We'd spent years in cramped apartments, dreaming of sunlight streaming through our own windows, of laughter bouncing off our own walls. And there it was in our hands, a small two-story house with a tiny garden perfect for us. I remember holding Min-jun's hand, the paper keys feeling cold against my palm and thinking, this is it. Happiness. Foolish wasn't I? To believe in fairy tales. It started subtly like a hairline crack in a pristine vase. Min-jun started going out more. Work dinners, he'd say, flashing that charming smile that always melted my worries. But the dinners stretched later, the smiles became strained, and the scent of soju clung to his clothes, not the light cologne he usually wore. Then came the hushed phone calls taken in the hallway, his voice low and urgent. Just a bit more time, he'd murmur and hang up abruptly when I entered the room. One night, rummaging for spare change in his jacket before laundry, my fingers brushed against something stiff in his pocket. A crumpled piece of paper. At first it looked like a receipt, but then the numbers swam into focus. Betting slips. Horse racing. My stomach dropped. When I confronted him, he laughed it off. Just a bit of fun with the guys, Unjia. Don't be so dramatic. His eyes, usually so warm, flickered away from mine for just a second. But that second was enough. A seed of ice planted itself in my heart. I tried to rationalize it. Stress from work, maybe? Everyone needs to unwind. But the unease, like the rain outside our new windows, just kept falling, soaking into the foundations of our dream house. Fun turned into routine. Those work dinners became weekly, then twice a week, then almost every night. The money started to disappear slowly at first, then in alarming chunks. We just moved in, the savings were meant for furniture, for decorating, for building our life. Instead, the bank account dwindled, bills went unpaid, and excuses became Min-jun's constant refrain. A bad month at work, unexpected expenses, helping out a friend. Each lie chipped away at my trust, leaving raw edges that stung with suspicion. Then his mother got involved. My husband's mother. She arrived one afternoon, her face etched with concern. Unja, is everything all right? Min-jun seems stressed. It wasn't concern, I realized quickly, but an interrogation disguised as sympathy. She sat in our bare living room, surveying the lack of furniture, the unpacked boxes, her lips pursed. You need to manage him better, she said, her voice sharp. Men are like children. They need guidance. Guidance? He was bleeding us dry with his gambling, and I needed to guide him? His sister Soo-jin joined the chorus. Younger, sharper, with a viper's tongue. Appa is working so hard. You should be more supportive, Unji. Maybe if you weren't so demanding, he wouldn't need to find other outlets. Outlets? Gambling away our future was an outlet? They started coming over more often, ostensibly to help, but really to control. They scrutinized our spending, offered loans with strings attached, and subtly, then not so subtly, blamed me for everything. If you made him happier at home, if you were a better wife, the air in our new house became thick, suffocating, not with love and laughter but with judgment and manipulation. One evening, pretending to be asleep, I heard them talking in the kitchen. Min-jun's mother and Soo-jin, their voices low and conspiratorial. It's been going on for years, his mother hissed. Since university. We thought he'd outgrow it. Soo-jin sighed. We've bailed him out so many times. This house, we thought it would ground him. My blood ran cold. They knew. They knew about the gambling, and they had let it continue, let it fester, let it poison our marriage, our dream. And now they were blaming me? The world tilted. The walls of our new house seemed to close in, trapping me in a web of deceit and betrayal. I was alone, utterly alone, in the house we were supposed to build together. The postman came on a Tuesday morning. A thick, official-looking envelope. Addressed to both Min-jun and me. Foreclosure notice. The words swam before my eyes, blurring into a meaningless jumble of legal jargon. Foreclosure. Our house. Gone. Because of him. Because of his fun with the guys. Because of his years-long secret that his own family had enabled. Rage, cold and sharp, pierced through the numbness. I didn't wait for Min-jun to come home. I drove straight to his parents' house. Bursting through the door, I found them in the living room, calmly drinking tea. Foreclosure. I screamed, throwing the notice on the table. Foreclosure. Do you even know what this means? Our house. Everything we worked for. Min-jun's mother looked up, her face impassive. Uni, please calm down. We were going to tell you. Tell me? Tell me what? That your son is a gambling addict? That you all knew and did nothing? That you let him destroy our lives? My voice cracked, tears welling up hot and furious. Min-jun's father cleared his throat. We tried to help him. We gave him money. Money? You gave him money to gamble away. Did you think that would fix it? Did you think lying to me, covering up for him, would make it all go away? Sujin scoffed. Don't act like you're so innocent, Unji. You must have known something was wrong. Known? I suspected. But you all lied. You all smiled and pretended everything was fine while he was digging our grave. Min-jun finally walked in, his face pale, avoiding my gaze. I'm sorry. Sorry? Sorry doesn't bring back our house. Sorry doesn't erase the lies. Sorry doesn't fix what you've broken. Years of suppressed anger, of swallowed hurt, erupted. I screamed, I cried, I accused. They stared back, their faces hardening, their initial pretense of concern dissolving into cold indifference. His mother finally spoke, her voice devoid of emotion. You should have been stronger, Unji. A stronger wife would have controlled him. This is as much your fault as his. Her words were a knife twist, severing the last thread of hope, of illusion. In that moment I saw them clearly, truly. Not a family but a fortress of self-preservation willing to sacrifice me, to sacrifice everything to protect their son, their secret shame. I was broken. Shattered. The house was gone, but so was everything else. My marriage, my dreams, my belief in them, in him. I was standing in the ruins of my life, built on a foundation of lies and deceit. I walked out of their house, numb. The rain had stopped, but the world still felt gray, washed out. I went back to his house. The house that was no longer ours. I packed a bag. Clothes, toiletries, important documents. I was leaving. Leaving him, leaving them, leaving this nightmare behind. I called my sister Jihai. Her voice, warm and familiar, was a lifeline in the suffocating darkness. Come here, Unjia. Come home. As I stood by the door, bag in hand, ready to walk out, to finally breathe free air, Min-jun's mother appeared. She stood in the doorway, blocking my path, her face hard. Where do you think you're going? Her voice was cold, devoid of any warmth. Away from here, I said, my voice trembling but firm. Away from all of you. She smirked, a cruel, knowing smirk. Leaving is not so easy, Unji. She held out a piece of paper. Another document. The loan for the house. I co-signed it. To help you young people out, you see. You're responsible too, Unji. Jointly and severally liable. My blood froze. Jointly and severally liable. Legal terms, meaningless jargon suddenly turned into a cage. I couldn't just walk away. I was trapped. Trapped by debt, trapped by their lies, trapped by the house that was supposed to be my dream, now my prison. Min-jun's mother watched me, her eyes like ice. Where will you go? How will you pay? You're tied to us now, Unji. Whether you like it or not. I looked around the empty living room, at the unpacked boxes, at the bare walls that had never echoed with laughter, only with lies and manipulation. The rain started again, drumming against the windows, a mournful rhythm. The house of cards had collapsed, burying me beneath its ruins. Escape, freedom, they were illusions. The house was foreclosed on, but I was foreclosed on too. My future, my life, foreclosed by a gamble I never made, a debt I never incurred, in a house that was never truly mine. And as I stood there trapped, I realized the chilling truth. The house wasn't the nightmare. They were. And I was still living in their house of horrors. And the rain, it never really stops, does it? Not inside.